All right. Here we go. It's Monday morning. No school, but football first thing.
Football practice
first thing. Hey, Coach. Good to see you this morning. Glad we're back and got granted another nice, beautiful day to get ready for some football.
Praise God.
Last week, we couldn't quite pull it off against Springtown. It seems like there was one quarter in there that was really determining a big part of the game. But I'm going to let you go ahead and start from the top and give us a rundown.
Well, I thought we came out and played hard. I thought the kids played hard. It wasn't our best game. But, playing a team that's ranked 6th or 8th in the state, whatever they are, they're a good football team. The thing I talk to our kids about all week is Springtown is a team, T-E-A-M. Together everyone achieves more, and they're going to play hard. Our kids saw situations where they probably wasn't used to. For example, their offensive linemen, they're going to block the whistle blows, and they're going to take you to the ground, and they're going to lay on you to the whistle blows. They're going to sustain those blocks. They're going to play hard. Defensively, they're going to fly to the football. If you're standing around a pile, they're going to come up there and hit you right square in the back. And we had some receivers that had to come out of the game a little bit because I got hit in the back. Well, yeah, these guys are going to play hard, and they're going to play to the whistle blows. You know, when I coached college football, we had no saying, when the whistle blows, that means it's time to start slowing down. And that's kind of the way Springtown plays. And I played college football with several guys from Springtown. I've been associated with Springtown for many years because I played with those guys. So I know Coach Hewlett. I know his coaching staff. I know how they're going to coach. They played hard. I thought we came out and we played hard. The score at the end of the first quarter was 0-0. Very much like we did the week before against Hershey. We were fighting there. We were battling. I thought we hit a pass that we dropped that could have scored there. But, those things happen, Joey, and we played hard. We battled, and we learned a lot of lessons the other night. We learned that to play football and get better and play in this district, you got to play to the whistle blows. You got to block to the whistle blows. You got to tackle to the whistle blows. You got to go to that ball carrier to the whistle blows and all those type of things. I thought our defense played well at times. We stopped the run, which was I was very excited about that. They hit some pass plays on us because we were misaligned on some things, and Coach McInally discussed that here in a little while. But we played hard. The kids battled to the end. The officials were very, very complimentary after the ball game, and so was their coaches. We just got to keep getting better and keep growing. That's where we're at right now. I thought our special team, let me go back to that, I thought our special teams played real well. Their kickers committed to SMU. He's a very, very talented young man. I thought we had them scouted well on that deal. We knew that he was going to do some different things, and we had some young kids in there. We did get punt blocked, which we'll make that correction this week, and we'll get that corrected. We had a young man that had not been playing that position very long, and we got a punt block, so we'll make sure we get that corrected this week and get better. So basically, here we've got 3 games to continue getting better, and we're still in the run for the playoffs. So we got to keep fighting and getting better and improving.
Most definitely, we saw throughout this game the one thing Chris White and I just continue to mention. The Bullfrogs, we went over this many times this whole season. I think this has kind of been the whole season of not stopping and not getting down when you're behind. And the Bullfrogs really did a great job continuing to fight forward, continuing to go on through the end of the game. I know a lot of people would like to, put their own little tidbits in there out there about what happens towards the end of a game when the scoreboard doesn't tell the story and it looks like a blowout. But really, honestly, the boys were grinding to the end, and there was just – probably 3 or 4 true missed opportunities down the field that, would have been a change in the entire ball game for sure.
You worded it well there. And I thought at halftime we were right there with them. I thought we maybe even could have had the lead, much like the Hershey game. But you've got to play well. Everything's got to click. And I like to relate things back to the game of life. And no matter what that scoreboard is, the score on that scoreboard, no matter what situation in your life, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep pressing on. You can't retaliate. You just got to go play and press and do the best things you can. And people know who you are by the way you respond and the way you react, and not the way you battle back there. So I'm very proud of our kids. I'm proud of our coaching staff. They've done a good job of keeping the kids focused through some times here. Very, very proud of the way we kept playing. And again, I tell the kids all the time, I'm not focused on the scoreboard. We get behind and we get ahead. That's the facts of life. There's a big NFL change right now going on with the Atlanta Falcons. They just fired their coach, and there are situations where they were ahead by long ways or behind a long ways, and those type of things, and the scoreboard flipped. You just got to keep pressing. You got to keep fighting and doing the best you can, and that's the game of life, and you know that, Joy.
Yes, sir, I sure do. We're going to get a couple of those coaches over here. And we're going to get the offense and defensive coordinators over here, say a couple things, I'll have you back, and we'll talk about this week with the Decatur game, if I could get it out. The Decatur.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back with you.
Big Coach Frames up here first.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Joy.
Good morning, Coach Raines. How we doing? Get some good sleep this weekend?
I sure did, Joy. Trying to catch up. That's right.
I tell you, same here. Same here. So this weekend, we saw in the Springtown game we saw that first quarter. That first quarter come out kind of helped to start to set the tone a little bit for the game. So go into that. Give us a breakdown that first half.
Well, that of course, obviously our defense played very well that first quarter. I think it ended up 0-0 tie. We were fortunate enough and executed some plays well enough to go get some first downs and get some drives, but we didn't get any points out of it. And, that's the big key in winning a football game is putting some points on the board. But going into halftime, we felt good about it. It wasn't that the plays weren't there. We had just made some mistakes, whether it's drops or throws or whatever, But we just got to execute those. And that's what I told the guys at halftime. I said, guys, they're not hurting us as much as we're hurting ourselves. And those are some things we had to focus on. And I'll give it to Springtown. They're a very fast defense. They're not overly big or anything, but they have speed and they get to the football and do a well job. Do a good job of tackling. So.
As far as stature-wise, I think the kicker was the largest stature player on the team, 6'6", 240. I mean, that's a big kid.
That is.
They had 100 or 200, 300-pound kids in there, but I didn't. I didn't really see them be difference makers, and those missed passes. I had some of the players at my house. I live here close by, so a lot of them can stay at the house so they can come to practice and be here on time. And I like to make sure they're here.
That's right.
And so I talked to some of them, and I told some of them, I said, I'll just come down before the game with a sledgehammer. We'll get those hands warmed up, and we'll be ready to go. Because I could tell, the boys, the big thing is this, and the mentality that has been changed here with the coaching staff. Is a lot of times these boys they have a bad game or they take it upon themselves, and then have climb back out of that self-loathing little depression they get kind of going in like it was my fault. The big thing is like the game's over. You just know now. Whatever you got to do to get ready. A ready man doesn't have to be ready. That's what Coach Welch always says, right?
That's right.
So. To get ready and be ready to if when their number is called to be able to execute. Now we saw going into the second quarter, and the second quarter was the hardest quarter on the defense for sure.
Yep.
But at the same time, trying to get a couple of those opens, a couple of those drops.
Yep.
The offensive line we know is still pretty young. And so getting a little bit of that pressure because it looked like they were bringing the three-man front, and then they were blitzing, and they were bringing the edges in and blitzing, just kind of throwing different packages. Not that they were reading the play at all.
Right.
They were just trying to bring pressure from different angles to try to catch a gap.
And they knew we had a young offensive line going in the game. When we had our tight end in there on the right side, we had 4 sophomores all together across there, which is bad for this year, but it's good for the future because they're getting a lot of experience in there. And once again, in that second quarter, it's really on us. We've got to sustain drives to keep the defense off the field, and we didn't do a good job of doing that, going back to the drops and things like that. I was talking to a kid yesterday, texting him, and I don't ever believe that a kid drops the ball on purpose. And so I was talking to him. I said it can come down to 2 or 3 things. One thing is it a lack of skill. One thing is it a lack of concentration. Another thing, are we putting you in those situations in practice so that you can practice in pressure situations? I said, I don't think it's a lack of skill because I've seen you catch the ball all year long. So we're going to try to put them in some pressure situations in practice a little bit more and do a better job as a coaching staff of getting them prepared for that so that they can stay focused throughout the ball game and hopefully keep their concentration level up enough to catch those balls. So, because that's got to happen, and we've got to hold on to that ball and we've got to drive it down the field, and that in turn helps keep the defense off the field and them from scoring points on the other side too. So,
most definitely. And so we did manage to get a couple of scores in the game, but the biggest thing I think that, and I know you guys saw it looking over film, the opportunity for that game to look totally different was there. So, just from the outside looking in, everything that I think everything was lined up to be there for the Bullfrogs. Yeah. Same thing with the Hershey game. Yeah. I totally agree with you. Some of it has to do with skills. Some of it has to do with, with the younger guys, the focus and the preparation that they take in going to the game and being kind of dialed in with it. Yep. But this week we got a whole new team to face.
Yes, we do. We got Decatur coming into town here. I personally don't have a good history with Decatur, but I do know that they've got a solid program, and looking at them on film, they're very, very similar to Springtown. It's going to be a good game between those two, and I know both of them have had deep playoff runs the last 2 years. I think Decatur's head coach's son was a quarterback the last couple of years for Decatur, and he has graduated and moved on to Tulsa. So offensively, I hadn't looked at them a whole bunch, but defensively, they run a lot of the same scheme and have a lot of the same type players over there. So it's going to be a challenge for us to put a game plan together and get these kids to execute it on the field Friday night.
I can't wait. Friday night's always good.
We're going to be ready.
All right.
Thank you, Joey.
Thanks, Coach. All right. Get old Vance down here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. It is. Sun's out. Feels kind of cool right now. It's going to warm up.
Awesome day.
By the second. we were out here yesterday for a little varsity cookout. And I'll tell you what, that field was cooking yesterday.
It was hot yesterday.
I could have cooked them hamburgers on the field.
Yes, you could.
So, Coach, just break it down for me. The game, started out. If I was going to sum up this game for the defense from the outside looking in, there was one quarter.
Yeah.
The second quarter, the first quarter, phenomenal. Third and fourth quarter, great jobs. But that second quarter, we had a tough time. So let's break it down. Start from the top.
Well, we knew what they did coming in. They can throw the football. They're going to try to run it, and they're not bad. They're not bad at running it at all. But they're going to try to set up the pass by running it. Run a lot of RPOs, and they're going to. Quarterback's good. He's 6'4". He's a big kid, 240. Runs decent for a big kid. Very strong, and started off good. They came out trying to run the football, and we stopped the run and caused them to punt a couple times. And then they decided, since we can't run it, let's throw it. And we busted a couple of techniques and coverages, and boom, boom. It's just like that, You miss. A lot of times we're trying to. If you're going to beat us, we want you to beat us methodically, 5, 6, 8 yards at a time, not 65. And so we gave up one of those 65s, and we gave up another long one. And those were just really mental busts on our part. And, we'll get those corrected. The kid that made it is not normally like that normally does, so we'll get it corrected and move on. But the kids played hard. We did a good job. I think they had 81 yards rushing. 41 of that was on one long run. We got to the quarterback 3-4 times. Got some other hurries and hits on him as well. So, we did some really good things. A couple times, we got some bad breaks where we were backed up with our back to the goal line, some turnovers and things like that. And we held and caused them to kick a field goal, which, that kicker's he's a weapon. He's definitely a weapon, but 3's better than 7. And so we did that 3 times. We got down there to the goal line 4 times, actually. We caused a fumble one time in the first quarter, and then later on, and 3 other times, we bowed up, stopped them on 3 downs, and made them kick that field goal. And so So we definitely come out of there with some positives. A very well coached football team, hard nosed. Excuse me. Hard nosed. I mean, you could see that on the way they play defense. They're hard nosed. They play fast. They play hard, and that's what we strive to be. Honestly, that's what we strive to be, and we have come a long ways this year. Our defense has really, really improved weekly. And so, overall, like you said, sans that second quarter, we played pretty good. And got some guys in there, some younger guys who are getting some experience. And really, that's going to help us in the long run as well.
Yeah, and so I think in the second half, I think the score in the second half was 14-21.
Mm-hmm.
Just if you scored it by half,
Mm-hmm.
and so definitely a different ball game if you 14-21 in the first half as well. So, Coach, the players you guys had in there. I know you guys had some rotation coming in and out of the game. It seemed to be that linebacker position and that line was really clicking on all four, on all cylinders, pushing forward. And then in the secondary, like you said, just a couple of mental mistakes there. I have no doubt in my mind that these boys continue to progress and look over that film. They're at my house. A lot of them that play in those positions were at my house, and they were bringing up. I walked in the room, figured I'd see them playing video games, and now they brought up Huddle on the PlayStation and was looking at Huddle film, looking at each other and looking at what was going on. So it's good to know you guys got these kids really evaluating themselves off the field and looking to be better. And, Coach, this week you got Decatur.
Yeah, Decatur is balanced. They're as balanced as you can actually be. I mean, they're 1,521 yards rushing, 1,540 yards passing. Attempts and rushes, I mean, it's just as balanced as our quality running backs. So we've got to do our job there and tackle. But they're good. They're a lot like Springtown. Good, hard-nosed football team. And they're going to play hard. They're well coached. But they have a receiver, number 11, who is a big, good-looking receiver. If you give him space, he'll take it to the house. So we've got to contest those throws, and we got to be up there on him. And if he does catch it, we need to be right there and tackling, because if you give him a lot of space, he can run, big-bodied, long legs, just a good solid receiver there. And they got some other receivers that are good, but Levin definitely sticks out. But like I said, number 3, their quarterback he's good, and he's their dealer back there. I mean, they're running the veer option. They're running speed option a little bit. They're running some RPOs. So they're doing a little bit of everything. And he's got a good grasp. He didn't start the year there, but he's been there for majority of the season. So he's got a good grasp of that offense, and they're doing a good job on it.
Well, awesome, Coach. Thanks for that. And, hey, we look forward to this Friday night.
Okay. Well, we'll see
another
you there.
home game here.
Hey, yeah. I'm glad to be back at Cottrell Stadium.
All right, Coach. All right, we're going to bring Coach Welch back up here to wrap this thing up. So we got a gist of it. Well, let's hear Decatur coming in. We're preparing for Decatur, but not even just Decatur. We're preparing for a football team.
We're preparing for a football team. You said it right there, and Coach Raines hit some points there, and, of course, both of them did. But, we started 4 sophomores the other night in the offensive line. And one of them, of course, Matthew's been playing quite a bit and all year. And we had 2 guys that have not played much in there. So we felt Caleb scrambling around quite a bit, had some run things that we thought were going to be there in the run game. It just wasn't quite there. But we're just getting ourselves better, getting ourselves focused. When you talk about Decatur, I know you're wanting to talk about Decatur and get into it. Very, very similar to Springtown. People think that by the time season's over, Decatur will be possibly a top 10 type team, much like Springtown is. I don't know if they're that caliber right now, But they're getting better as well. They started out the year that their quarterback hurt his knee and tore his knee there a little bit, I think, and actually had surgery and came back in 2 weeks. Now they're playing with a different kid right now, so I'm not sure what the quarterback situation is. They play hard, they play fast. Again, not overly big, much like Springtown, but very well coached. They've been in that system for a long time, from the junior high all the way up. And they're going to play. They're going to play to the whistle blows. And if you don't like it, you're going to get a 15-yard penalty because you're going to swing or you're going to push. You're going to try to kick, those type of things. These kids play to the whistle blows, and that's what we're trying to get through to our kids. And when the coaches watch film Saturday with our youngsters, we show them that these kids, you're going to play to the whistle blows, and it's hard to get that mentality going. But we're working on it hard. Just focused on ourselves, get ourselves better. Decatur's very solid in all three aspects. The kicking game is very solid. They've got a good kicker. They've got athletes. I've counted 51 kids on the roster this morning. So now I'm not sure how many of those are actually JV, but I didn't see very many sophomores on that list. So they've got a lot of kids playing right now, which tells you that they're two platooning. They're not having to play kids on offense, defense, and special teams. They're splitting that stuff up. So it's going to be a good foe for us. We've got to get ourselves better and get ourselves ready to play and continue improving as Bullfrogs.
Most definitely, Coach. We come here Friday night against the Decatur Eagles, I believe is the name.
I think that's right.
Decatur Eagles. Lake Worth, it's not the first time Lake Worth has seen Decatur. It's probably not going to be the last time Lake Worth's seen Decatur. We just hadn't seen Decatur in some years. But Coach, we'll be right back. We'll be right back here this Friday, ready to go at this battle, try to get a W in district. I know all the kids are looking forward to it.
Well, I'm glad to be home and back at Kittrell Stadium, like Coach McIntyre said a while ago. We've got Decatur here this week, then we go to Burke Burnett, and and Gainesville back the week after that. A little bit different schedule than what we had posted because of what we did for the COVID. But we've got 3 consecutive games. Our open week is actually the 11th week. So for us to make the playoffs, we've got to win 2 of the last 3 here. Doesn't matter which ones you beat, but you got to win 2 of the last 3 to get in the playoffs. That's what we're striving for. Striving to get ourselves better, make ourselves a better football team. Joey, let me tell you this: I appreciate what you did for our community yesterday, and appreciate what you did for our players. The cookout you had for them, and playing games and so forth, and really appreciate the help you had up here helping you, and I thought it was a good turnout. Kids enjoyed it. Both my kids came home sunburnt and had a good time, and it was hot. And so appreciate what you're doing there, and just appreciate these kids and these coaches in this town. And Lake Worth is a good place to be right now. It really is, and we're excited.
And I'm excited too. Not more excited than Friday night, though. Friday night, I don't know, it does something for me. It does something for me. It keeps me going. So we'll be back here Friday night. You guys tune in to the Facebook Live. You tune in to YouTube Live. And tune in to MixLR. And you guys check it out. We got a lot of followers. We thank y'all so much for following and listening. And go ahead, Coach.
One more thing. Because we had to pull so many kids up off the JV here a couple weeks ago, again this week we're going to have one JV team. So it'll be at Decatur Thursday night. Probably Decatur had found a freshman team, so they're going to start at 5. So we'll follow that. So 6:15, 6:30ish. Make sure you get there in time, not to miss anything. But we'll have one JV team at Decatur this Thursday night, and of course back here at Kittrell Stadium Friday night at 7:00.
Yes, sir. So we'll be right back here Friday night. Make sure you go online to www.lwisd.org/athletics. So much to go there. Scroll down, you'll see the varsity football. Click the tickets there. Also, we still have some of those memorable Dave Campbell's magazines. If you'd like to get you one, catch it there. We'll actually be selling them at the front gate as well. Hey, as always, for Coach Tracy Welch, the Bullfrogs, I'm Joey Wilcoxon. We love you guys, and we'll see you this Friday. Let's go, Bullfrogs.